Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cybergamer Pro League Season 3 semi-final between the Future Ancients and Team Aegis. Yeah, unfortunately, it's only me casting today. I am the cake juice, just for this game anyway. We're having some technical difficulties on the caster's end, but that is all alright. We're just going to carry on and pull through. Future Ancients, first off, banning the Elder Titan, Team Aegis banning the Nature's Prophet as well. Probably looking to sort of stop that split pushing game that that Nature's Prophet is so good at, and maybe we might see some interesting picks from them in that regard. He being banned as well, a very popular pick at the moment in pro players, being run as a support sort of role, and he's very, very tricky to sort of pin down without spending all your gold on sentries and dust. And the final ban on the first phase will be the Slark, who's just a menace. First pick Timbersaw, yes. All right, one of my favorite heroes. Absolutely love Timbersaw. He's been played a lot recently. With the constant buffs to reactive armor over the past few patches, he's just unstoppable in the laning phase, and just soaking up all the damage from the opposing team. Be interesting to see what Team Aegis do to sort of deal with that, because I mean, really played anywhere. Tidehunter being picked up. It was a solid offlaner. We'll most likely see him as the initiator for Aegis. Always a strong pick, especially with the Ravage doing lots of crowd control, and Kraken Shell being able to just make him soak up the damage and purge off any unwanted negative buffs may come his way. We do have, after this game, quite a few more games for you today and also tomorrow, so lots of Dota coming up for you guys today. Aegis picking up the Vengeful Spirit, the good old reliable stun there, and of course the swap just being so useful in any sort of situation, with the Future Ancients picking up Faceless Void, who has come into his own as an offlaner instead of the old safe lane carry that he used to be. Still very, very strong, especially with the rework. And especially his new skill, which name is escaping me at the moment. I think it's not Time Lock, that's his bash. Name is escaping me at the moment. It's a really, really good slow, especially for teams who sort of like to spam their spells in the middle of fights. Team Aegis banning out the Disruptor, and Future Ancients banning the Darkseer. Again, good, interesting pick. Might sort of predict a sort of a melee-based safe lane carry. Iron Shell destroys them, and the Disruptor is just a really, really good support. He fits the role so well. There's lots of AoE crowd control, which they definitely don't want with the combination of Faceless Void. Another good combo that we can see here at the moment is as long as Timbersaw doesn't get caught in that Chronosphere, he can deal continuous damage to a couple of people with the Chakram. And if he picks up Aegis, 2 Chakrams in there as well, which of course is pure damage, blocked by BKB, but pure damage nonetheless. And that'll be a nuisance to deal with for Team Aegis on the Radiant there. Can't really say what's going to happen with the rest of the draft. I really don't know who else they're going to pick. Bounty Hunter and Terrorblade being banned out as well. Terrorblade really coming into his own this recent patch, and last month he ended up being a tier 1 pick. Quite a lot of programs throughout the year. Sorry, throughout the month. And Bounty Hunter, of course, just being a general pain in the ass, being the roaming hero that he is. Dazzle picked up by Team Aegis. Good for his ultimate. Lots of heal bombs and the Shallow Grave to try and help out anyone who gets caught in Chronosphere, and Death Prophet on the Ancient's side, sort of helping out with that tower push that Timbersaw really doesn't have. Also combos well with Chronosphere. even if Death Prophet gets caught in it, her exorcism will still be going, and the ghost will be doing damage all over the place, which is obviously something you don't really want as the opposing team. Interesting to see what is going to be the next picks and bans coming up. Again, I really can't predict. Both teams are still looking for their hard carries. Windranger being picked up on Team Aegis, probably by the looks of it going to be run as a mid laner, as Vengeful Spirit and Dazzle being picked up as their supports. Future Ancients still need the supports and still need the mid laner, and just as we said, Lion gets picked up by them as well. Could really go anywhere here. I'm not 100% sure. We could see a Spectre being picked up, who was of course very popular recently.
10 seconds remaining.
Spectre being if Spectre's got Radiance and Death Prophet, something that goes up. That's a lot of damage being targeting dealt to everybody around. We may even see a Juggernaut. Juggernaut's been popular. Juggernaut on either team really would work quite well. Yeah, it's going to be difficult to tell. It's going to be difficult to tell. So we'll sit tight and we'll wait and see. Yeah, do it. Either way, it's going to be an exciting game. With Aegis having to pull in a last-second stand-in. But everything's all legit there. Ancient Apparition being announced. We may see an Alchemist, potentially, or somebody else with a lot of regen. And Dursa being banned out there by Future Ancients. Again, just talking about that hard carry role. Dursa obviously being able to deal a lot of damage, and the later the game goes, the stronger she gets. Naked Rapier Rush always being a popular build on her.
10 seconds.
Again, yeah, interesting to see what Future Ancients and Team Aegis will
5 seconds
pick.
remaining.
I honestly have absolutely no idea.
Reserve time.
I always love to see Spectre played. So Spectre would be nice. But yeah, unless maybe they run Void in the safe lane, which we haven't really seen a lot of. But yeah, who knows? Who knows? Well, we will find out very, very soon. Being picked up there as the Future Ancients' final support. So by the looks of it, they're going to be running a Faceless Void safe lane as their safe lane carry. Which will be quite cool, I suppose. Haven't seen it in a long time.
10 seconds remaining.
Boys recently have been going for more of the utility initiation build, but that's alright.
remaining.
This is Dota, ladies and gentlemen, and we've got to be ready to expect anything. 35 seconds left for the Aegis pick, and they get Lifestealer, who I assume is going to go into the safe lane. I got disconnected from the server there, but that's alright. I'm back. Still in the draft screen though, I'm unsure what's happening there. Yeah, alright. Alright, sorry about that. Sorry about that, ladies and gents. We're back. I lost connection there for a second, but we're back now. Everything seems to be looking good. Smoke up from Team Future Ancients here. Probably looking to try and surprise Team Aegis, who are walking, just chilling around in the jungle. Might be seeing some early walls being placed out there, and we do an observer wall put there, not blocking any of the camps, but still a pretty good wall nonetheless. Haven't managed to break the smoke yet, but there it is, and they've seen them. There's more. Sort of doing a little bit of work there. Lifestealer being brought back by the Rubik's lift, and Lifestealer uses Rage just to keep out of the way of any of the magic damage that could be passed on to him. Take a couple little tower hits. There's Death Prophet here doing some damage onto the Wind Ranger, who manages to run away just into safety. Faces Void taking chase, but not much is going to happen there. It looks like Death Prophet's going to get this rune at the bottom lane, and Hunter looking to get that one at the top, maybe going to the Wind Ranger. It's going to the Wind Ranger. Never mind, that's alright, ladies and gentlemen. We are all good. We're all good to go, and it looks like everything is back in order. We've got the Wind Ranger and the Death Prophet in the middle lane. We have Timbersaw doing a solo off lane, Dazzle with the Lifestealer in the bottom, and some really early rotations from the Rubik here onto the Wind Ranger, who's taking a lot of damage, getting blocked up by the rest of the team there. Is the Spirit Siphon doing a lot of damage there, but she just manages to get into the trees and not being able to do it, and the Rubik is going to get stunned by the Vengeful Spirit, and he manages to go down. That was really unlucky there. Some good rotations there by both teams, managing to secure that kill, which is going to do a big boost for the Wind Ranger there. Alright. Hunter and Faceless Void just having a bit of a bash off at the top there, and Lions still hanging around in the mid lane, looking to just help out the Death Prophet as much as they can. So yeah, interesting start. Lots of fun-filled happenings going on. Looks like Lion's gonna rotate back around, just leave Death Prophet to her own devices. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Faceless Void and Rubik for the dire side just going away. Void just time walking back just to get rid of that damage that was applied to him just beforehand. Timbersaw not looking like he's going to have too much trouble with this lane. I can't switch heroes. Oh, here we go. Cool, that's quite alright. Anywho, Lion looking like he's doing some stacking for his team there. Yeah, no, I can't click on the heroes. That's alright. We're just gonna have to roll with it. It's all okay. Just stick on the mid lane for a little bit. And farming up, both the mid laners doing pretty well on their last hits and denies. Ranger looking to take that rune at the top there. So yeah, pretty even to begin with. Both teams just looking to farm up. They are both very strong in the later stages of the game. Spirit Siphon again coming out onto the Wind Ranger, but the Wind Run negating all that damage there. Managed to pick up her bottle, the only item she's got at the moment, whereas the Death Prophet, 2 Null Talismans and a Fairy Fire. Top lane, we've got the Tidehunter on some fairly low health, and the Lion just doing all the stacking that is needed for his team. Faceless Void not doing too badly on the last hits, but he's being completely outplayed by the Lifestealer down the bottom here, who is doing a lot of work and harassing the Timbersaw away. Who does have 1 level in Whirling Death, but 2 in Reactive Armor, so he's not too worried. But the Lifestealer will have to be careful and watch himself later on in the game. We're still beating out the Wind Ranger in terms of last hits. Spirit Siphon and again coming out, but Wind Run just coming out at the right time as well. He's getting very low though. The uphill miss not doing anything there, but a regen rune is safely tucked away, so there's no problems there. The contested mid lane is it's really just a bit of a back and forth. However, Death Prophet is coming out on top in terms of last hits and denies, getting 22 there as opposed to win ranges 16, now 17. Azel managing to take out the line. There must have been a rotation that I missed. Apologies to all the viewers out there. Timbersaw looking to chase after the lifestealer here. He did manage to get one whirling death onto him, which has lowered his strength a bit, but not having too much of an effect. Again, Wind Ranger, sorry, just running away from the Death Prophet, not wanting to stick around. Shadow Poison coming out in the Faceless Void in an effort to try and slow him down for the Tidehunter to slap him a bit, but it was not to be. He managed to time walk out of there and not too much happened. It was a giant stack coming through here, and Rubik's Fadebot coming out doing a lot of damage to the Tidehunter here, but Dazzle's there to heal it right back up. Spirit Suffer again coming out onto the Window, who managed to shackle the Death Prophet there, but who Death Prophet has so much more health. Spirit Suffer again coming out, and the Death Prophet Exorcism coming out. We might be seeing a couple of rotations from the Radiant side to protect this tower. But it might even look like that she's going to be zoned out by the creeps anyway. So okay, some pings coming out at the bottom lane. They're probably trying to look like they're gonna. Oh no, Dazzle's on the Radiant team. I thought they were gonna go around and look at that, but that's all right. Again, Faceless Void just farming away. The two supports just doing a really good job of just zoning zoning the Tidehunter out. Sorry, making sure that he's not being able to do too much damage to the rest of the team. Lion picking up an early Windlace, which is obviously really handy for the supports. Definitely helps a lot in terms of running away from the scary carries, which do a lot of damage.
A gift from the goddess.
Dazzle just again back into the bottom lane, just be helping out the lifestealer there, getting his farm, who is at the top of the last hits and denies at the moment with 37, just edging out the Death Prophet on the opposing team. But Faceless Void very low. He's got to be a bit careful here. If a Vengeful Spirit stuns out, he may just manage to fall down and lose all of it. But they are pinging him out. They do know that they're there. He has got to be very careful. He is only level 4, so he's not able to do too much about it. If anything did happen. In the mid lane, they're just farming up. Windranger has caught up on the last hits. Definitely see her becoming a bit of a nuisance for the future Ancients later on in the game. Tim's already getting his Soul Ring. He's looking to be fairly aggressive in the early stages of the game. He is level 7 as well. He's got three levels in reactive armor, which just means that he's just not able to be touched really by anyone at all. Windranger going on the offensive of the Death Prophet in the mid lane. Just Death Prophet manages to get just far enough back for the Windranger to stop. Tidehunter has had to go back to base. Pretty low on health. He has picked up a smoke as well, so we may be seeing a quick gank coming out, but in the bottom lane, Tidehunter, sorry, Timbersaw did manage to use Chakram onto the Lifestealer, but again, not a lot of damage was done. Lifestealer is very tanky, being a strength-based hero with his innate lifesteal. Whirling Death coming out does do quite a bit of damage to him. What's happening there? Timbersaw is just not a high enough level at the moment, and he doesn't have the backup from the rest of his team to really be able to do anything. Windranger has activated double damage room in the mid lane, but in the top lane here we see a stun coming out on the Tidehunter, and right back at them with the thing. But Faceless Void with the Chronosphere and the time lock. I think it is I can't remember what it's called. He again watches out, and the Vengeful Spirit is probably going to go down. Just one more last hit, but he's too fast. He's too fast. The TPs are coming out, and he's going to have to go back. That was just too much for them. Oh, and the power shot from the Wind Rider coming out and just finishing off the Lion there. That was impressive rotations there by Team Aegis. They obviously, Team Future Ancients, were not looking
Radiant's
to
middle
lose that
tower is
at
under
all.
attack.
But meanwhile, it gives
Radiant
Death Profit from the
structures
Future
are
Ancients
fortified.
enough space to try and push down this mid tower with Exorcism. Goes sapping the tower's health a lot, and it's going to heal her right back up afterwards as well. Just managed to pick up either, I think it was another null talisman, or maybe finish off the power treads for her as well. And that did a significant amount of work to the tower. They are pinging out something over there, but there's nothing there, so it's alright, guys.
Middle tower is
Never
under
fair.
attack.
No!
And again, look back into passively farming. It looks like the Vengeful Spirit from the top lane is going onto the middle lane to help out the Wind Ranger there. Might again be wrapping around behind the through to the dire side jungle, and to cause a bit of nuisance there. So you see the Rubik and Tidehunter coming pretty close to each other. I think a ward has just expired. Again, Tidehunter doing as much as he can to try and harass this Lifestealer, but this Lifestealer has pretty much been left to his own devices. He's got 61 last hits and has pretty much finished his Armlet of Mordigion, which is going to give him a lot of extra strength, a lot of extra damage, and it's not going to be good news for the side of the Future Ancients. But that's alright, they got stuff to deal with it. The Vengeful Spirit is invisible via Smoke of Deceit, so they don't know that she's there at all. Could be seeing a cheeky gank onto Faceless Void here. What happened there? Stun comes out. Lift from the Rubik also just stunning up the rest of the Team Aegis, not being able to let them get off anything at all. Which is up, but he was not able to use it, which probably saved the lives of the Future Ancients there, otherwise they may not have survived through that. Ping's coming out on the Lion there. Vengeful Spirit did manage to see him, so they know that he's there, and they probably will not re-engage into this again. Death Prophet picking up a very early Veil of Discord, which will of course amp the damage of Spirit Siphon and of the Wave of Terror. No, not Wave of Terror is another error. Vengeful Spirit, that's Wave of Terror. Can't click on the heroes, there we go. Yeah, Wave of Terror there. They do manage to go onto the Faceless Void though. Ravage comes out doing a lot of damage, but the Lion does manage to stun him up, and the Chronosphere comes out. Lift coming through, and he is being caught right in the middle of the Chronosphere, and he's doing, and Shallow Grave coming out, just saving the Tidehunter, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. All he needs is one more last hit onto him, and the Faceless Void does get final hit. He is very low on health though. He's got to be careful. Meanwhile over here though, ooh. Wind Ranger just managing to get out of Spirit Siphon and TP home. That would have been disastrous for the side of Team Aegis. That would not have been handy for them at all. They are all still very low though, especially that Faceless Void, but hopefully he'll bringing himself up fairly soon. Looking like we're going in on the mid lane. Exorcism being used for a third time on this tower. They still haven't been managed to get it. It's some really, really good work by Team Future Rangers there. Spirit Siphon coming out onto the Vengeful Spirit, but not being able to do enough damage as the Dazzle's there to heal him right back up again. Lifestealer has rotated back around as well, just to give them a bit of an extra hand. Power shot coming through just to get rid of the creeps there. But again, not too much happening with this Exorcism. The Vengeful Spirit is just, the Death Prophet has just not been able to do too much of it. It just hasn't really been effective at all. Which is really unfortunate, but that's really, really good work by Team Aegis there. Going back onto the Vengeful, the Faceless Void, the Lion Stun does come out. But again, nothing really going on there. Chronosphere's down for another 35 seconds. So probably won't be seeing any initiation from the there. Again, this tower has managed to get really, really low. It's just out of deny range, I believe. Oh, but again, it looks like something might be happening up here. The Lion, it looks like he's going to go down. He tries to do an S-spike onto the Vengeful Spirit. Oh, that was a really good hex there. Just getting rid of the Tidehunter, not being able to land that final last hit, which would have finished him off. The spell still coming out from the Rubik. He has managed to steal Anchor Smash, not probably what he was looking for. Faceless Void again being stunned up, saving Chronosphere for now. He knows he probably won't be able to utilize it too effectively, so he's just going to back off a little bit. And saying that, no, he's just going to back off a little bit. The Rubik's ult wave, Dazzle's ult wave still being effective on him, so he was losing health a lot quicker than he normally would there. They're still hanging around. Rubik here again, just getting some of those stacks just to try and catch up on farm a bit. And again, it looks like the Dire side are going to be trying to push down this tower here. Silence does come out from the Death Prophet. Spirit Siphon 2 again doing a lot of work, but it's not going to be enough, and Death Prophet does manage to get the tower in the end. Very close there. But smoke coming out from Team Aegis. They're looking to try and catch out this Death Prophet, who's probably going to walk right into it. They've been revealed, the Lion can see them. But what's going to happen there? Oh no, the Lion couldn't see them at all. They were just out of range. This Ravage being dedicated just to kill the Lion, and now they're going to have to retreat because the rest of the team has showed up. Dazzle just being caught, Vengeful Spirit just being caught inside the Chronosphere. But the Shackles come through and Power Shot coming through as well, and managing to do a lot of damage to everybody there. This is big work. The Shadow Grove coming out of the Vengeful Spirit. It doesn't manage to save her there, and he goes down to the Death Prophet. Timbersaur's showing up. Spirit Siphon coming out on the Tidehunter, slowing him down a lot. Is it going to be enough to catch him? Timbersaur doesn't have enough mana. There's no mana. He couldn't Timber Chain through, and the Shackle again coming out, just keeping them in place. Rubik manages to shield Shackle shot, and again, wow, another long fight, but not really too much coming out of it. Only managing to kill the Vengeful Spirit, and they dedicated. There was a Ravage used, there was a Chronosphere used as well, and only the support was the one that fell. A good work by the Dazzle here, managing to Shallow Grave a couple of them and do some heal bombs with Weave and Shadow Wave, keeping his team alive and keeping the other team down. And meanwhile, Timbersaur has picked up his Bloodstone, which means it's going to be a lot easier for him to spam his spells. A cheeky 17 regen on his mana there, so he's not going to have an issue for the rest of the game. Alright, Lifestealer just farming away in the jungle. He's level 11, he's picked up his Armlet, he's picked up his Blightstone. It looks like he's going straight for the Desolator. And it looks like the Lion is going to rotate around, looking to try and catch out this Tidehunter and Windranger. But they're playing it safe for the moment. I'm not sure they can see him. No, there's no wards there. Dire have used scan, and they are well done. That was a really good scan. They picked out that they're there. They know that they're there. They're smoked up, probably looking to try and see if they can initiate in on them. Timbersaur's there. They've broken the smoke though. He's going to come through. He's done a lot of damage there. Chakram coming through, doing a lot of damage, and also Whirling Death taking down the strength of the Tidehunter is obviously doing a lot of work. And Finger of Death coming out, finishing him off, and a cheeky 250 gold coming out on him there. Faceless Void is taking a lot of damage from the Windranger there. Focus Fire doing a lot of work. Chronosphere being committed, and there's the Chakram and Chronosphere combo that I was talking about. But Shadow Grave coming out and just keeping him alive for a little bit longer, but it just wasn't going to be enough. Exorcism being committed as well, doing a lot of damage. I don't think that Vengeful Spirit is going to last much longer. Faceless Void is getting very low, just taking some poison damage from the Dazzle there. But he's going to heal back up with a Salve. Again, a really big fight in the way of Team Future Ancients, and they're probably going to look to try and take down this top tower as well. Teleport scroll cancelled there, and the tower does fall. Exorcism doing a lot of work, and Timbersaur's already up to 15 stacks of Bloodstone charges. That's really not what you want when you are the enemy team. You don't want to give the Timbersaur that much of an advantage, especially in terms of his spam ability of the spells, especially against a couple of strength cores that we've got on the team there. So in the meantime, however, Lifestealer has managed to pick up his Desolator and is probably going to look to farm for some more attack speed items now. Yeah, we'll probably see him jump into the fights fairly soon. He hasn't been too present.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's right. However, it is looking like Team Future Ancients are trying to push down this tower. The TP is coming out, and the Timber Sword looks like he may get stuck here. Lifestealer just not being fast enough. Open Wounds is managing to slow him down though, and the stun coming out, just stopping the Timber Chain. Is it going to be enough before he denies himself? And it is the Dazzle taking the final hit with the Shadow Wave Heal Bomb. It was very, very close to the stun finishing there, so that was really, really well played by them. Again, a really, really important hero dying for Team Future Ancients, who was being quite the nuisance for Team Aegis there. Meanwhile, Tidehunter is pushing up in the top lane. May see this tower go down. Must have some TPs come out and save it though, and there we are. Tidehunter not looking to fight with that, especially against a Timber Saw, who is as strong as is at the moment. Chakram coming through and killing all the trees there, but it's probably not going to be enough damage unless they find some rotations coming on, which they do. The Willing Death coming through and doing a lot of damage. He's going to die to this Chakram here. And yes, the stun coming out from the line, just securing that he stayed in place with Thistle getting the final hit there. Alright. God, this has been an action-packed 20th minute into the game. Not doing too badly. If we just have a quick look at the net worth, the Lifestealer is at the top, only edging out the Death Prophet by 300 there, and he's done so much, and including right now, the Open Wounds coming out on the Timber Sword, Rage is being popped as well to try and stop the stuns from happening, but Faceless Void coming out with the Chronosphere. He is going to manage to take him down. The Chronosphere runs out, but the Shallow Grave coming through, and he's trying to help with the Lifestealer, who just manages to jump into a creep just in the nick of time, and he comes back out. Armlet toggling as well to keep himself alive, and the Wind Ranger manages to stun and focus fire the Faceless Void down. Swap coming through on the line, just keeping him in place, and he's going to go down. He's going to go down there. That was very, very easy. He wasn't going to survive through that. That was really, really well played by the Dazzle there. Just keeping the Lifestealer alive enough so he could jump into a creep and armlet toggle his way back to health. It was really, really well played there. The Faceless Void managing to fall from the side of Team Future, the Future Ancients as well. Obviously not what they wanted. This tower is getting very, very low. Rubik has picked up his Blink Dagger, which is going to help with that initiation, and the bottom tower does go down. Again, it's fairly even at the moment. I can't bring up any graphs for some reason. It's just not letting me do it. I'll try and figure out what that is for the next game. But it'd be interesting to see at the moment, but both with the gold and XP graphs, I reckon they'd both be swinging madly at the moment. There's not going to be too much of a difference between these two. It looks like both teams are grouping up at the moment. I'm not sure if they're wanting to smoke or anything. Lion does have one in his inventory. Might be happy to just let Faceless Void farm away for a bit longer. Who has picked up an Echo Saber. I did notice that before, but he died too quickly for me to actually mention it. Doing a lot of work. If he can get a double Time Lock Bash, Time Dilation is the name of the spell. That's the one I was looking for. Double Time Lock Bash doing an extra 100 or 125 damage at level 4. Sure, throwing his Chakram out just to let them know that they're there, and the X system is up. Probably looking to push down this tower at the moment, but the whole side of Team Aegis is here, apart from the Windrunner, who does look to be wrapping around. I personally don't think that this is worth for Team Future, the Future Ancients. They're looking to try and push that down. So they do disperse and go and split push and farm around the rest of the map. Lifestealer has picked up his Hyperstone. I'm not sure if he's going to be going for he's going to go for a an Assault Cuirass, or potentially even just go straight for that the Moonshard. Rubik has managed to steal a Focus Fire, and he does manage to get stunned down by the Vengeful Spirit, and he's just going to get tapped down by the Wind Ranger there. Dazzle actually getting the final hit on the kill, and Lifestealer taking down Death Prophet before she's able to use Exorcism, and Windrunner taking down the line, the Chronosphere coming out. Dazzle using Shallow Grave on the Tidehunter there though, and the Faceless Void just wasn't able to do any damage at all. He's getting stunned up. The Death Prophet has brought back though. He's come back with Exorcism already procs. Faces Void does manage to take down Vengeful Spirit, and again Void taking the Dazzle as well. Exorcism and what's the name of that spell? What's it called? Crypt Form, that's the one. Just finishing him off there. Lifestealer. Oh, that was a really bad time to do an armlet toggle there. He took a lot of damage from the Timbersaw there. Oh, the stun managing to go through Rage. I didn't realise it even did that. Time Lock stun went through Rage, just stopped him teleporting. Oh, and he managed to take down the Lifestealer, who's dead for 30 seconds. Looks like they're probably going to be able to take this tower, even though Exorcism has literally just expired. Really, really good buyback there from the Death Prophet. I really think that turned that whole fight around, and they're doing a really, really good job. No, it's looking very, very good for the side of Team Future Agents at the moment, and they're going to rotate right around and just try and take this tower. They can do so very, very easily. Lifesteal is still not for another 19 seconds. And this tower's going to fall very, very quickly. Wind Ranger's just doing a harassing power shot there. Rubik lifting up the Vengeful Spirit, who is going to, wow, get absolutely destroyed there. Good initiation from the Rubik, and the Death Prophet using Veil of Discord on her, just meaning that Crypt Swarm was doing just that extra bit of damage. And so she was definitely not going to survive that. Timbersaw TPing back to the bottom lane just to help out with that, with getting rid of those creeps there, and it looks like we might be seeing a Roshan attempt from Future Ancients. And that definitely looks like the case. Rubik is hanging around behind, just see the counter initiation or the contestation from Team Aegis. They are being pinged out. Sorry, no. They smoked up as well. But I think it's going to be too late. I'm not sure they're going to get there in time. Got Faceless Void here does have a drone and it's doing a lot of damage. But speaking of which, the cavalry is coming. The Rubik has managed to break the smoke of everybody. They know they're all there. Dazzle managed to find him as well, and Death Prophet has procced the Exorcism, and Flying goes down really, really quickly. Exorcism, oh my god, doing a lot of work there. Chronosphere coming out, taking 3 heroes. Chakram doing so much damage there, and Exorcism is just going to come out and is going to do so much work to this Lifestealer who manages, and the Timbersaw manages to get the Dazzle as well. He's very, very low, but the Lifestealer is bringing him back to health. The armlet top is so impressive here. But again, he's taking so much damage from the Timbersaw. Who's going to manage to finish him off with a Whirling Death and a Timber Chain, which means that is an ultra, sorry, not an ultra, that is a team wipe on the way of Team Aegis. They are all dead, and I'm not sure if they've got any buybacks at all. No, they've only got buybacks on the Wind Ranger and the Lifestealer, but I really don't think they're going to use them just at this point in time. Wow, that holding of the Exorcism really handy there, and it was definitely so useful, especially the Ags on the Timbersaw. I didn't realize he'd got it. Doing so much damage inside of that Faceless Void Chronosphere, who did unfortunately die, but I think it was all for a good cause. If we look at the net worth graphs now, Timbersaw is right back at the top. And it's to show just how much of a nuisance he can be. And Lion has also picked up an Ether Lens that will make his damage output a lot stronger, especially from his stuns and just that extra range. He can just stand a bit back. They're looking like they're going to want to contest again, but Roshan is just going to go down just in time. And Faceless Void has picked up the Aegis of the Immortal. Rubik picking up the Tidehunter there, but doesn't look like there's going to be any initiation there. They might be trying to burn this Aegis, but Rubik does manage to steal Windrun. Again, not the most useful spell on him. And Aegis Fulva's going down. Tidehunter falling very, very quickly. And Chronosphere again coming out. He's going to quickly take down... Oh, the Dazzle's going to die, but he tried to save his friend, the Vengeful Spirit, in the process. But the Shadow Grave is not going to last forever, and he's going to die in the end as well. And they're chasing down this Windrunner. The Death Prophet using the Yule Scepter, managing to silence him, not enough in time for the Windrunner to come out. Rubik is there though. He's lifted him up. He stopped him from moving, and the magic damage bringing him down.
Is under attack.
This is looking very, very bad for Team Aegis. They look so good at the start, but the Future Ancients have really picked themselves up and are really bringing it back. There's not too much that it looks like they're going to be able to do. Yeah, a good 1,000 XP going the way
Dire's top tower is under
of the
attack.
Future Ancients there, and they're 21 kills to 12. I mean, the Faceless Void is now second on the net worth. He's beating out that Lifestealer. Exorcism being popped there by the Death Prophet. Looking to take down the tower. Really Tidehunter, however, blinks in. Does manage to catch all 4 of them. God, there's so much damage happening all around the place. There's so much going on. Dazzle does manage to fall. Timbersaw doing a lot of work there. Spirit Siphon again, and keeping that Lifestealer down. He's slowing all the way down. Aegis is managed to be procced though, and the Lifestealer is probably just one more last hit away from dying, and he does. Timbersaw doing a lot of damage there with his Timber Chain. He's just all over the place, and Exorcism has only just finished. Spirit Siphon, I think, was used so many times that fight. It was ridiculous. It just wasn't stopping at all. And again, nobody died on the side of the Future Ancients. It really looks like they've got this in control. Rubik's blinked forward, and the GG called from Bender, the Lifestealer, who is the captain of Team Aegis. So, first game going the way of the Future Ancients. They have won this one just with some superb teamwork. Hard luck by the Team Aegis there. They did do really well. Yeah, it's very impressive teamwork. The Timbersaw absolutely desecrating on them a lot of the time, but that's alright. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you back on the stream a bit later on. Have a good one, guys.